how do you see the Maharashtra's political scene now, which is completely fragmented in the last 5 years? And do you think there would be some clarity after November 23?
There's already clarity in Maharashtra. I don't think there is any issue as such, except that the legal fight continues. Because the illegal way the parties were broken and the illegal way they have been given to people, so that will continue, that fight will clearly continue. But people in Maharashtra have voted during Lok Sabha very, very assertively. And there is complete clarity in the voters' mind.
But now it is 6 parties, 3 each on either side. Like Maharashtra has always been a alliance-based politics, but this time it is too fragmented, don't you feel?
No, it was the same thing in Lok Sabha. It's no different. Okay. And let me just correct you if you don't mind. Maharashtra has never had always alliance-based. After 95 it has had, before 95 it was always a single party government.
Ma'am, this NCP, SP got good 10 seats you all contested and won 8 in the Lok Sabha. Was it a strategic move to contest few seats and win more, and is it the same move in the assembly also?
Well, our party is not about strategy. Our party is about a service and an ideology. So we don't strategize. We are very focused on serving the nation, the people, and doing good policy work for the country.
And for the assembly polls, NCP SP is contesting around 80-85 seats.
85, no, 86.
86. And like how the seat sharing talks also took long, that created little negative points also.
Actually, it's an alliance. So in a vibrant democracy, things do take time, and you must be very respectful to all voices. So we made sure that we did not bulldoze anything, and we were very respectful. All the allies were very respectful to each other.
And out of 86, like, how does your party see that how many seats it can win?
Well, obviously we would want to win all, no? I mean, when you sit for an exam, you sit to pass with flying colors. So clearly we would want to win all.
Do you think this Lok Sabha results will replicate in the assembly also?
I think we'll probably even do better.
And for now this assembly will be like the round 2 in Baramati, where you and Sunetra Tai were in contest. Now it is Ajit Dada and Yugendra. So how do you see this round 2 of this electoral tussle in Baramati?
Well, for me it's an ideological fight, even during Lok Sabha and even now. I see no reason for it to be any different way. We are the allies with the Congress, and they are allies with the BJP. So the BJP and they are fighting. So we are fighting the BJP. So that way, if we fight the BJP, we fight all their allies.
You had said in the Lok Sabha, you were contesting, but you were not sure that you would win with such a huge margin. Here in the assembly, how do you see both main candidates placed?
Well, I have absolute gratitude in my heart for the voting and the faith and the trust shown by the Baramati Lok Sabha voters towards me. And I'm eternally grateful for them for giving me this opportunity for the 4th time. And I'm sure it will be a fair election, because I hear that there are a lot of people getting threatened now in Baramati, and there's some sort of a fear psychosis being spread by the ruling dispensation in Baramati. It's very unfortunate that people have been threatened even during Lok Sabha and even now. But people of Baramati are very brave, and I will stand by them if anybody tries to bully them ever.
Ma'am, addressing a Sabha recently, Ajit Pawar said, "You made Sahib happy in the Lok Sabha polls. Now make me happy by casting your vote for me in the assembly elections. Sahib will work in his way. I will work in my style to develop our taluka," he had said. How do you see that as, Ajit Pawar saying, "You made Sahib happy by voting for you and now vote for..."
This is not about happiness. For me, Parliament, this is my service. This is not about happiness. This is about what my politics is about, serving the nation and doing serious policy work. So if I ever asked for votes, I would not ask them for my happiness. It would be for your happiness. I want my every stakeholder to be happy. If my stakeholder is happy, I am happy.
Ma'am, how do you feel that Jarange Patil's decision not to contest will impact the political scene, and whether the Jarange Patil factor will have an impact on the upcoming?
Well, it's a democracy, anybody can contest. So each one has a right, according to the constitution, to fight and contest an election. You can contest an election. So,
do you think it will have an impact?
Well, every leader and his followers impact an election. So clearly, of course, he will also have an impact. Everybody will have an impact.
All eyes are on Baramati, even Lok Sabha, and now for obvious reasons. But we can't wish away from that context. Like you always say that your family and politics are two different things. You have always kept that. But in Lok Sabha elections, some of your old colleagues who were with you they criticize you like spending too much time in your maternal home and criticize you in this fashion. And now Pawar Sahib is being said that he broke parivar todla vagare. So does this emotional discourse, does it have an impact?
Leaders are not allowed to show or share emotions in public. That's why you're a leader. And it's not necessary just about leadership politically. Even in a home, there are leaders. Either the father or the mother, one person takes responsibility, becomes the leader of the house. If the leader only crumbles, how will the family hold together? So leaders is a very lonely job, and it comes at no showing emotions. So we have to be empathetic and compassionate in our behaviors, but not crumble emotionally. Then how will you be able to lead? Every time there's a crisis, the leader starts crying. How will the leader lead?
But do you think that this situation could have been avoided? Like when it was known that BJP was trying to split, win Baramati, weaken Pawar Sahib, and if this situation could have been avoided, do you think? Like it is said, but many people blame you for that. Blame you.
I'm happy to take the blame. But what is the accusation?
That you had said you were ready to debate, like why, because of you, what did the other side didn't get? Like Pawar Sahib choose you as the successor, not him.
Can we go by data?
Because after the split,
because every powerful position of decision making was in Ajit Pawar's hand. So what is the logic of the acquisition, and who made the acquisition?
He himself.
Well, then we should go by data.
Yeah. And that's why you had said you are ready to debate.
I'm happy to debate anything with anybody because I believe in transparency. So I'm happy to debate it with anybody.
How do you see the future of NCP-SP, whether after the assembly, one is after the Lok Sabha, there was much clarity, the party won maximum seats. So about now in the assembly, will the picture be different?
Why would it be different?
Like for better, change for the better?
Always, we all work only for betterment.
Ma'am, one question is, after the elections, can the Pawar family and Ajit Dada reunite politically?
Politically, it's very hard to say because as long as he's working with the BJP, it's not going to be that easy, no? Because our ideologies are so completely far away from each other. So that still remains a challenge, politically.
Now, means as this is, because of this fragmented politics, there are so many guesses being made about the post-poll scenario. One of them is that you being the possible chief minister face of the Maha Vikas Aghadi if it comes to power.
Well, I'm not even contesting the Vidhan Sabha election, so where's the question?
No, but later if you, through
Right now for us
council
it's
or...
far more, NCP has made it very clear that we are not in the race for the CM's post. So we have complete clarity and we will go along with whoever our partners decide on. We will go along with whatever the partners decide.
How do you see the post-poll scenario emerging? Do you think MVA will get enough seats to form the government, or whether it will be a hung assembly?
Oh, no. Why will it be a hung assembly? It will clearly be a very clear mandate against corruption, against unemployment, against inflation. So I'm very, very confident that the Maha Vikas Aghadi will give a very stable, honest, progressive government to Maharashtra in the next 5 years.
During the course of this campaign and prior to that, there was a lot of talk about having a CM face prior to the election result. Do you think this is necessary? Like earlier, the known protocol was that after the result, the MLAs will decide who will be their leader. But do you think that this should change, and having a face adds, makes the voter realize?
Each alliance has to decide what works for them. And right now in Maharashtra, both the alliances have decided on their own separately not to give a face. It really varies from time to time and situations to situations.
Ma'am, speaking about regional parties, how do you think the regional parties within the MVA will have an impact on the result of the Maharashtra?
It's not about a regional, it's about a party and it's about its ideology. First of all, we were not a regional party, we were a national party. We were downgraded. After that, they broke our party, they took our symbol away illegally. And the fight continues in the Supreme Court. So we are still fighting because what was done to Sharad Pawar and to Uddhav Thackeray is legally completely unfair. So we will clearly fight for that, and I think every political party contributes something. So clearly we are a great team. We have delivered superior results when we were in power together. The Maha Vikas Aghadi was in power. And you will see this time when we come to power, we will make sure that the unemployment, the price rise, and the kind of contracts that were given and the way people have behaved, the governments have behaved unfair manner with many, many businesses. We will clearly make sure that doesn't happen, and a very fair and a just and a transparent, corruption-free government for the next 5 years from the Maha Vikas Aghadi.
This government is banking too heavily on this Ladki Bahin scheme and the toll waiver. And it is said that has helped build some positivity for the government. In your travels across the state, do you see this similar?
How do you see it is the million-dollar question. Who's saying that it's working? It's very hard to tell. No, we'll have to clearly wait for the mandate to come, one. And second, most people, especially on the PTI and all your channels I see, most women are saying that 1,500 rupees is given, but the oil prices have gone to 2,100. So that is clearly the price rise is exponentially high. And food inflation is very, very high. And some data has just come this morning to me, where they have said that the sales have dropped in many, many things in this entire Diwali time. So they have said it's substantially gone down by 30% in a few markets. So I'm waiting for the entire report to come and we'll have more clarity. Plus the GDP of Maharashtra, we see the data. It's not very flattering for the government either. Crime against women has substantially gone up. So many challenges during this regime.
Ma'am, adding to her question, Mahayuti has come up with the Maji Ladki Bahin scheme in an effort to appeal the women voters. How do you think Maha Vikas Aghadi is countering to that?
First of all, it's not about a counter, it's about a service. We started the Sanjay Gandhi Niradhar Yojana. We didn't scream from the roof and made into an event. Needy people needed the help. The government walked in, stepped in, but didn't glorify it. They didn't make it into an obligation. While this government is making it into an obligation. The value add which we will do, which is the need of the hour, is of course financial help, but we will skill every woman who is on this scheme. We will make sure she gets very good health services and protection. So it will not only be a monetary scheme, it will be expanded into good safety and security for women. Second, skilling every woman on this scheme and her health care. So we will add these three additions will be made to the scheme.
Ma'am, speaking about seat sharing, after the Haryana results, do you think internally did Congress step down a little bit in seat sharing,
We've never had a problem working with the Congress. So, I mean, Haryana didn't really, what happened in Haryana didn't really matter with our dialogue with the Congress ever. Because we've worked with the Congress for the last 24 years and it's been absolutely smooth sailing.
Speaking about Baramati, it has become a very high stake seat, being seen as Pawar versus Pawar. And Baramati has been a space which has always been under the Pawar family. Do you think it can create confusion amongst the voters as to which Pawar to choose and which Pawar to vote for? Can it also become an emotional confusion for the voters?
Why should it be? First of all, the voter of Maharashtra, Baramati and India is extraordinarily bright. Indians are never confused. So I have full faith in the democratic system and we've already been through it in Lok Sabha. So why would there be a problem now?
Could it create a confusion?
About what?
Which Pawar to choose now? Because initially it was a single unit, now it has become two.
But they did it already during Lok Sabha. So if the first time they did it, there was no confusion. So why will there be a confusion the second time?
Ma'am, if to ask, what would be one single issue, if you could name, that you are taking down heavily amongst the people for the elections?
Unemployment is the first issue. We have to address the unemployment in the state.
Are you giving them has MVA thought of any schemes that they would go with, that this is how we...
Well, we were in power for years. All the MIDC's investments came during our time. It's very, very clear how to generate it. We've delivered superior results when we were in power. So the minute we are back in power, we will expedite all those options and we'll make sure more investments come here and more job and wealth is created in Maharashtra.
Ma'am, speaking about today, the US elections results have come. Projections show Donald Trump leading his second term. How do you think that Donald Trump now being the president will impact India-US relations?
Well, India-US relationships were built with clearly when Manmohan Singh ji was the Prime Minister. So for 10 years, he and President Obama built a wonderful foundation of India and America, Indo-US relationship as we call it. So I don't see any possible change or challenge ahead of us. Both sides will be very good about it. We've done it in the past and we will continue Manmohan Singh ji's legacy ahead.
Yesterday, Pawar Sahib spoke about after his Rajya Sabha term ends, he would consider not contesting again for. Do you think this is he wants to take a backseat in parliamentary politics?
Only in parliamentary politics, yeah.
Is it a means to appeal to voters, as it is being said, this is Brahmastra against Ajit Pawar? After this comment he made, all the digital media and TV channels were saying this Pawar Sahib's Brahmastra to defeat Ajit Pawar.
I can't control what people say and I wouldn't want to control what people say. It's a vibrant democracy, people have every right to analyze what they want, how they want.
How would you analyze this?
No, but I don't analyze everything that everybody says. I accept what people say. You don't have to analyze everything that you hear and say. People say, well, he'll be 85 by the time he retires. And I think if he's thinking that at 85 he wants to get out of electoral politics and keep working for the farmers and the downtrodden and the challenged people of the society, I think it's a wonderful thing.